Hey everybody, Mariza here from She Knows Crypto with this week's Last Week in Crypto News. We're still in pretty much the same situation with the down market, the bear market. We've seen Bitcoin kind of hover around the 6,000-ish. It did dip dreadedly below the 6,000 US dollar point just for a moment. So how long will we be in this kind of, iffy downtrending market? We don't know. Something's got to happen. Hopefully we've seen the bottom and we'll start seeing some rebounds. But again, I don't make predictions. So we'll just have to wait and see. But let's get to last week's headlines and the shitcoin of the week coming up at the end. So just a few things for you guys this week. Coinbase, I know a lot of you use Coinbase as your online exchange, especially those in the US, has seen a lot of SEC complaints. Not getting deposits credited, accounts frozen, transactions incorrect, a bunch of things. And as we know, the customer service of most of these online exchanges, all of them actually, really suck. I still have a ticket open with Zendesk for one of them from July 15th of last year. Nobody's gotten back to me. So what to do about that? Be careful on any of these exchanges. Coinbase is one of the biggest ones. And also, don't keep your crypto on an online exchange. It's hackable. They can hack the database. That's how Mt. Gox lost all 800,000 worth of Bitcoins. So don't keep your crypto there. And if you are making transactions online exchanges for your dollars to Bitcoin or whatever, do make sure that you are very careful with those transactions and monitor them and not make it a large amount. Do it in small amounts is another way to protect yourself. Even better, as I've been saying for the last bit, earn your crypto. Start charging your clients. If you want to sell your TV, sell it for crypto. Just earn it so you don't have to work with these online exchanges. The other big news this week is Litecoin is at a 7-month low. So I poured through the internet trying to figure out the why of the Litecoin in particular, of all of them that are down, is at a 7-month low. And you can find article after article after article that just states that fact. Why is it that low? We're not going to know. We're not going to know for a couple of months what the reason was. And that's with a lot of this crypto news. Stuff happens, people point out that it happens, and then nobody knows why until a few months later. So sale on the Litecoins, if you guys are interested in Litecoins, at a 7-month low. Cardano's CEO, Cardano is one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies. It is similar to Ethereum in that it's a smart contract type of blockchain. Their CEO says that when Wall Street comes in with all of their money, the institutional investors that we've been waiting for, I've been talking about that for a couple months as well, it could bring in trillions worth of US dollars flooding into that market. He also speculated about this present dip that we're in. Was it expected? And he and several others in cryptocurrency have said that this dip was expected, a correction was expected. We saw this huge swell in December. Yeah, there's going to be some correction. But one of the things in this particular article, I know I don't really point to experts all the time making predictions, but one thing that Nick Szabo said, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. If you're not, he is a cryptocurrency influencer. He actually created the first cryptocurrency, which was called BitGold in 1998. It wasn't ever implemented, but Bitcoin was basically built on his architecture. What he said was volatility will continue to decline until it reflects the uncertainty in fiat, more than fiat than its own, which is like a big statement. Like, do we feel uncertainty about fiat money, about dollars and euros, or do we feel more uncertainty about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? And right now, I mean, it's quite obvious. People, in fiat we trust globally. Cryptocurrency is just a small percentage of the wealth in the world at this point. But until it starts to reflect a little bit more certainty, he's right. We're just going to keep seeing this volatility. Some good news. Amsterdam, the airport in Amsterdam is now letting you exchange your euros on your way out for cryptocurrency. So they will have little ATMs where you can put euros in, and you can just zap your wallet and get cryptocurrency. So this is really a key point, I think, globally, that we could see a lot of airports doing this. It makes so much sense because you're leaving that country. You don't need that money anymore. Take your crypto with you wherever, which would be amazing. I don't know if it's going to work the other way where you can arrive and use crypto to take money out, but you definitely can put euros in and get crypto, which is amazing. And they're also talking about doing that in Brisbane. So when you see this, our global currency that is cryptocurrency, you see them taking it at airports, that is just going to be huge. And I think with Amsterdam being one of the first, which is surprising to me, you'll definitely start to see it pop up elsewhere. So when you're leaving, like me, I'll be leaving Mexico this coming week. I'm going to have some extra pesos. It would be great if I could just throw that in and get a few Bitcoins. A few Bitcoins. I don't have that many pesos. A few pieces of Bitcoin. So that's cool. Keep looking for that. The last piece that I want to talk about is a really excellently written article that talks about the burst of the baby boom bubble. It will be the boon for crypto millennials, is what it's called. And essentially, it's got a lot of great facts and statistics, and we're going to see, we've already seen the millennial population overtake the baby boom population. There's already more millennials alive. But now we're going to see the spending power of the millennials overtake the wealthier class, the baby boomers, or Gen Xers now, with the ones after them, in 2020. So what does that mean? And why are we talking about that with crypto? If we take a look at the ownership of crypto, 17% of millennials, over 7%, own some crypto. That's a lot. And then that number starts to go down. Gen X's, it's about 8%. And then when you talk baby boomers, it's about 2%, like nothing. So what's going to be happening? We're seeing mass retirements, especially in the US, mass retirement. So people that have been in the stock market buying those dips after the dot-com crash, after the 2008 crash, those were wealthy boomers that were buying those dips for their retirement. Now they're going to start taking that money out to live. So it's going to look a little bit strange. We've got 10% of the US households own 83% of the stocks. So the stock market versus the crypto market, they make a really nice comparison to where Japan was essentially at the same time. If you look at the S&P 500 currently, you match it up with the Japanese stock market, and then also their demographic situation was very similar to what it is in the US now. You see a sharp decline that they really haven't recovered from. So that's going to be very interesting. And what it postulates is that millennials will be investing in crypto. They've got a lot of time to make up for, a lot of wealth, as opposed to stocks or real estate, because they're just priced out of those markets. The home ownership globally for people under 35 is at record lows. I mean, I had a house when I was 26. I bought in the bubble, but I don't now. And so I fall into that statistic. So that's something definitely to watch for as in the next couple of years, as millennials keep the spending power overtakes it, not just for cryptocurrency, but how do we vote? We vote with our money. That's really how we vote. Forget democracy. We vote when we buy things. And with the spending power being higher for millennials, that's going to change a lot of things geopolitically and in the economy and, crypto as well. So super cool. All right, last segment really quick. The shitcoin of the week is called Plexcoin. Now, Plexcoin had an ICO actually last year and raised about $15 million or somewhere thereabouts. And then it looks like they just disappeared. So I saw an article pop up that said essentially that they were freezing these US accounts of Plexcoin, but the founders are apparently from Quebec. So a lot of people ask me about ICOs, and I try to be very honest and try to give them the facts that essentially there's no rights or regulations. So someone can have an ICO, I can have an ICO, you can have an ICO, and then run away with the money, and there's nothing anybody can do. So this is an example of that. And if you want to take a look at it, it's called Plexcoin. We're going to see a lot more of these over this year, unfortunately, because there is no regulation, and a ton of people have made millions with no obligation to do anything. So that is also going to hurt the overall cryptocurrency market. That's going to hurt faith, the faith that we need for this thing to have value in the cryptocurrency market. So that may be another correction that we'll see later this year, or at some point. Again, I don't want to make predictions, but at some point we see more of these that has to hurt the credibility of cryptocurrency in general, because we've got some bad actors out there. So yeah, that's the roundup of this week. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great crypto week. Happy investing. See you later.